Good morning. It's 7 in the morning. I slept until 6 today. Ricky had to wake me up. I've got my coffee going. But every morning I make a list in my head and I try to see how much of it I can get done. So yesterday I wrote it down, and at the end of the day I checked off everything that I got done. And then this morning I put dots by what I plan to get done today. And it's a pretty long list. And every morning in my head, I add things to this. This is just what I was thinking of yesterday. And I got 4 things done. And then this morning I've got 3 goals. But if I get any extra done, then woohoo. It's a never-ending process. So every day I work hard all day. Some days I finish projects, some days I don't. I feel better whenever I finish more projects because they say the first year of homesteading is the hardest, and they're right, because you have to get everything set up, but once you get it set up, it takes care of itself. One thing that I didn't anticipate with all this, getting this ready, is the pain in my body. The first few days I was in excruciating pain. My back, my arms, my legs, every part of me hurt. But I just kept pushing through it, and eventually the pain didn't go away, but it kind of diminished to an annoying buzz in the back of my mind. The only pain that really bothers me is my right hand and my forearm. When I wake up in the morning, it's stiff. I have to stretch it out. It tingles. I don't know what I did to it, but I can't take a break to let it heal because I can't just sit and do nothing. So it's gonna have to heal while I work it. My goals for today include finishing my 3rd raised bed that I got started yesterday, but it was just too hot to complete. I got all the materials that I need ready to go. I thought I had gotten enough grass on the first go, but I didn't. I finished the edges, but I need some more in the center, so I have a pretty good lump of grass. I may have to get more, but I have plenty. I raked it in all in piles, and I have plenty of dirt, probably more than I need, so the rest will go up against the house, because I'm trying, with all my extra dirt during projects, I try to heap it against the house to keep water from going under it, since I discovered that there's water in the cellar or basement. Yesterday, I was working inside in the evening because it was just sweltering. It was only 88 degrees, but with the humidity it makes a difference. Anyway, whenever we bought the house, we paid for a termite inspection, and the termite guy said that it was free of termites, and that was the only contingency on buying this place. It was a buy as is, and he accepted that contingency. Well, when I was ripping out some of the old termite damage, I discovered living termites. So we contacted our realtor, who was the person who set it up, and she said, that was last night at 5:30, she said she's going to contact them first thing this morning. I don't know what the process is, but I do know that I'm extremely upset because that was our only contingency. And I can deal with previous termite damage because I can slowly replace it. But with an active termite infestation, I don't even know how to I don't want to have to pay to have it treated whenever we paid to have it checked out before we even bought the place. So that's a problem on my mind. But today I want to take apart that horse feedings, whatever. It's just, you saw it on the tour video, it's just a shell. I want to take that apart because it has good lumber. I'm not going to use it. And I want to take apart the dilapidated chicken coop or whatever it is on the back of the barn. I was going to rip the barn floor out, but I ripped out the boards that are just in the entryway because they were warped from water coming in the door because the door was unsecured. And I discovered that the rest of the floor, when I was cleaning and sweeping, is actually in excellent condition. I had originally intended on using the inside of the barn for my chicken coop, building nesting boxes and everything, but once I discovered how nice that floor is, I really would just like to repair it and build a separate chicken coop using the lumber from those two structures that I just showed you. So the fun part is going to be deciding where to build it. I have plenty of space, but my goal is for this to be a cute, inviting place. It's right on a highway, so that will help me sell like eggs and whatnot, which any income is obviously wonderful. We talked about using the stalls that are on the side of the barn. It's like a lean-to up against the barn, and it has 3 stalls, and right now they're open on the top for horses, but I want to use it for my goats. I can do a lot with that. I can take down the walls and have it one big room. I can use the lumber from either structure to board that up and make it secure against coyotes, because I read that coyotes are not deterred by a 4-foot wall. They can hop over it. So I'll have to board all that up and create better doors, and then I can let my goats run around in here. But the chickens, I don't know if I want their coop to be in front of the barn or between the barn and the shed in this area. I want them to have room to run around and pick through the grass or whatever chickens do when they're bored. I don't want to keep them cooped up too much. I want them to be free range, but I also want them to be safe. I've heard from many chicken owners that they will not go into the road, but I don't want to chance it. So I did buy 150 feet of fencing, a 4-foot high chicken wire fencing. And that should give me a pretty good yard for them to pick around in. But I also am worried about hawks and other daytime predators. It's illegal in the state of Tennessee to kill any bird of prey. So hawks are our friends, even though they take our domesticated birds. So I've been looking for alternatives to kind of deter them. I thought, oh, well, I'll use a scarecrow. Well, that won't work. So I found on YouTube, I don't remember his name, but he said to just tie strings, crisscross them over your chicken run, if you have an open top chicken run, which is probably what I'll have, and it'll deter them. Now, deter means it's possible they'll still get in there and get your chickens, but I'll try anything. But I know I'll be extremely frustrated if I lose a single chicken to a predator, because I'll feel like a failure. I have friends back in Oklahoma who were telling me, oh yeah, I started with 25 chickens 4 years ago, and now I have 5. And I'm like, well, what happened to them? Well, apparently they can, you know, get coccidia and get eaten by predators. Most of hers were eaten by predators, even though she locked them up at night. Daytime predators got them, and I'm wanting to keep my animals all close to the house, and I'm always out here working, so I should be able to keep a pretty good eye on them, because I'm trying to keep everybody close to me and safe. My garden, my orchard, my chickens, my goats, all will be close to me, and then the rest, I don't even know, that's for the future. I'm just worried about, eventually the chickens will die, and they will be in the freezer, but I want them safe and happy while they're alive. I hope what they say about these is true, because they're so time-consuming to put together. That third one, I started it yesterday in the heat, and I didn't put enough grass. So this morning I started about 7:15, it's now 8:05, and I've got the rest of the grass laid out, almost finished putting the dirt down. There's a little patch down there that I still have to do. And then I have to water that, then I have to do grass, then I have to do dirt again, then I have to do grass and water each layer. It's just so time-consuming, 45 minutes, and this is all I've gotten done. So, hopefully they pay off. I became very negative last night, and some of that negativity carried over into today and caused a lot of things to go wrong, because I'm a Christian, but I also believe in will, and I believe that if you have a negative will about you, things will go badly. So I've been trying to be positive today. I did finish my raised bed. I built an invisible trellis for my grapes. Ricky's been reminding me every day to plant those grapes, so I finally did. And I used the wire from the clothes hanger, the clothes dryer rack over there. I don't know what it's called, clothesline, to hold up the grape as it grows. I've got 2 grapes. Also, I was watching TED Talks during a break, and I discovered that leaves are actually one of the best composting materials you can use, that your kitchen scraps are not as good as you think they are. We are going to save our kitchen scraps for the chickens to nibble on until we get red worms. Then we'll probably do a mixture of the chickens and the red worms to process our kitchen scraps. But since leaves are so wonderful and I have them in abundance, I've spread out quite a few here. It's good to shred them. This is 3 cartfuls. It's good to shred them and then put them in the compost. And it's really gone down quite a bit since I made it yesterday. So I'm going to chop up the leaves and fill it as full as I can get it, and it's going to work its way down. And whenever I start putting manure on it, it'll go down even further. I also have begun taking apart my spare shed, or whatever you want to call it. I'm about halfway finished. I'll be using that wood to probably build a chicken coop. While I was moving that over there, I built it by the house. While I was moving it over there, I broke that corner stake, so I had to replace it, so I'm down to 6. But 6 will be good if I choose to expand that, and I put that there hoping that it could be a centerpiece if I expand my garden beyond where it is now, more into the grass over there. So the things that went wrong today are the sole of my right boot came apart while I was kicking dirt up against my new trellis, and dirt got in between the sole and whatever fabric is on top of that, and so I had what felt like a knot in my boot that I was walking on, so I had to rinse that out with the hose, and I finally got that clear, but it's pretty apart. These are really new boots. I discovered that I have millions of little blisters on my shoulders and back from working outside for 10 days straight in the sun with no sun protection, no shirt, no spray or cream, nothing. So that was foolish of me. I nearly broke the trellis whenever I was dragging it over there. I did break one stake. Well, I'd say they're sufficiently shredded. I was going to shred them and then rake them up, but we're going to add this to the list of things that went wrong. I'm not raking that up.